Good evening. It is just gone 8 o'clock. It is Monday. It is time for Mod Cons. We got the right intro this evening, so we are all good. We didn't go for the wrong intro. Everything is right with the world. We are off to a good start. The sun is still shining as well, so it's making a Monday evening all the better. Okie dokie. We have got a lot to talk about tonight. There's some banana stuff that we're going to get to, which is I'm sure is going to create all kinds of discussions, especially with people along in the chat. So we'll get to everyone who is here live in a minute. But yes, the three of us are here. We have got Triangle Face Tim.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. And we have got Blunars.
Hello, everyone. I've done my usual, done a gift, and it's gone to you, Mr. Iceman Extreme 1981. You have just leveled up.
Iceman.
Yeah.
Good to see. So, before we dive into all the good stuff we have got to talk about this evening, let's go through. We have got Dave Noonan Music in the house. Good evening, Dave. I hope you are keeping well. I hope you're off to a good start. Mr. Chris Dunham, good evening, Chris. I hope you are good. Timothy Earnshaw is also in the house. Chris Dunham telling us that we've got YouTube adverts. Wonderful. I mean, I like the fact that they're there. I know that's not for everybody, but Mr. Holton, good evening, Mike. I hope you are good. Happy Monday to you too. We've got Adam H. Good evening, Adam. I hope you're also having a splendid Monday. So you are all very, very welcome here. Please do join along in the chat with all of your opinions as well, because this is where we love interacting with you all. So let's kick it off with what are you playing? So Tim's rubbing his hands. That normally means there's something to do there. Either that or it's cold. So Tim, what have you been playing?
Before we get into that, I think we just have some appreciation for Blunner's amiibo shelf behind him there.
Oh yes.
Just mentions he's got all the amiibos. Look at that. That is beautiful.
I've still got print. I've got 3D print some more shells actually, because I've got the new Street Fighter ones coming, and all the Legend of Zelda ones that are coming as well. Yeah, this is one thing I wish I'd never started, and I now have to carry on because until they stop making the ruddy things.
So, yeah. We'll have to have like a proper video on that, I think.
Go through and review amiibo review. But yes, what have I been playing? So I don't think you played this yet, Ollie, but you need to. This is probably going to be my game of the year. And if you haven't played it yet, you've got to do this. It's an absolute masterpiece. This game is Expedition 33. This caught my eye at the different expo. I think it was the one for Xbox, I think. Had this one on as one of the things it did say it's coming out on Game Pass. So I jumped on it. Obviously, I was playing Oblivion Remaster, and I saw so many positive things about this. I've got to see what it's about. And yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. It's got. I don't want to give too much away because it's one of those things where you just need to play it. So I can highly recommend it, but I don't want to give too much of the game away. All I will say is it starts very strong. It hits you with a bit of an emotional gut punch right away, and then has this absolutely brilliant sequence which kind of sets up the game. So from the trailer and from what we know about it, the game is set in a world where there's been some sort of fracture and the world is kind of all a bit broken, and you can kind of see these amazing landscapes in the skies. There's like buildings of like parts breaking off of them that just like floating in space, and all these really obscure like backdrops and landscapes and stuff, which is really impressive to walk around. And there's this monolith with a number on it. It starts off at 100 and it counts down every year. This massive witch called the Paintress shows up and changes the number, and it's come down to 33. And everyone of that age disappears. So there's no one can live past that age, and that age is also coming down each year. So the human race is doomed, and it's their doom counter can be seen glowing in the sky on this monolith. And that is the game. Is you then are going, right, we're going to go to the continent, leave our safe island, go to the continent and see what's there and try and destroy the monolith and fight the Paintress. So when you go there, then there's remnants of other expeditions that have been there, and you find their camps, you find their flags, you then find like little records of what they found. So you can see they've like found a few bits out, and you can learn a bit more because you don't really know what's going on. And I think that's part of why I don't want to kind of give too much away, because as the player, you don't know what's going on when you go into it. You just know that if you don't do this thing, you're gonna die in a year. So they're like the expedition that goes out, is like majority of them are people on their final year who are going out. So the gameplay though, it's turn-based RPG. There's loads of mechanics. There's loads and loads of mechanics. So I won't talk about all of them because there's just too much to talk about. But although it's turn-based, it is really, really interactive. So you're constantly engaged the whole time. So you can like use a gun to do like free aim, and you can shoot at like weak points on things. But that costs an ability point. You have ability points at the start of the round. It will go up and down. And then we're using your other abilities. Each character's got their own sort of different play style. They've got specific mechanics. So there's one which has stances. So you'll end a turn in a specific stance. And then you'll have some moves to say, right, if you're in this stance, you deal additional damage. Or if you are in this stance, this move costs less to do, and all this sort of stuff. So you can sort of change your stance as you go. And then a lot of the moves will have quick time events. So when you attack, you've then got to hit A at the right time to deal the most damage. Then when the enemies attack you, you can parry and you can dodge and things like that to avoid the attacks. But the timing is really hard to get right. So if you're exceptionally good at timing, you can pretty much avoid everything, but it's really hard to time it right. Because it's so hard, it's so satisfying to like dodge and skip things. It's Expedition 33. But the amount of like moves you can do in it and stuff, and how you can then, with your equipment, you can do things that certain things will give you more AP. It's like dodging successfully gives you AP, or healing gives you AP. You know, if you cause burn on an enemy, different things happen, and you build up all these different bits of equipment that are like your buffs and sort of things, your passive abilities, and you find that you very rarely ever do like a normal attack. You're pretty much just doing special attacks all the time. And with like items and stuff, you have like a handful of items, like your healing items and your heal party. You have a limited number of them, and when you get to a flag, you can rest and replenish them all. So you're not then thinking like, oh, I've got to save my potions. So you can only carry so many at a time. So you carry so many potions, and then when you get to a save point, you sort of check it, and then you get your potions refilled. So you're not kind of like, do you know, it's like when you're in Final Fantasy or something and you're holding back your magic, like, I'm going to save my MP for a boss, or I'm going to make sure I don't use up too much of my items. With your AP, you always start the same amount of AP at the beginning of every fight. And with your items, you carry a limited number, and you're going to replenish them whenever you get to a flag. So you're not really worried about your micromanaging your items and your magic. You're just going, no, we're just going to give it everything. And even some of the normal encounters feel like boss fights, you know?
That's cool.
Like, that's a whole section that's like underwater, but you're not. So like the water is above you. So it's like inverted underwater.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Just the intro, I would say it's probably one of the best openings to a game that I've played since Cloud jumped off the train at the start of the reactor mission. It's that good.
Hot dang, Tim. That is praise.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you get incredible soundtrack. There's couple more things I'll say about this game before we move on, because otherwise I'll ramble for too long.
Isn't it? A bit opera-y.
Yes. Apparently, the composer of it was one that they just found on Reddit. They just went on Reddit and found this composer. Like, oh, we really like this person's music. And they just reached out to them. It's like, hey, do you want to do all the music for our game? And they're like, all right. So it's not like a big name. They just found someone. The studio is a small French studio of about 33 people, which I think is probably why they called it Expedition 33. But it's an unknown studio that just brought this out of nowhere. And I was like, this is incredible.
Can I just give you my thoughts as well, because I've been playing it as well?
Yes, you've been playing it as well.
So yeah, so it'll just save me saying that I've been playing it later. But yeah, so I'm kind of like, it was a bit story heavy for me at the beginning. There's a lot of like story. You do a little bit, then you're like instantly into stories and like cutscenes. A lot of cutscenes. The actual like John Face saying gameplay, the looks, the music, it is fantastic. It's a game when he was like, it's an RPG, and I was like, oh, I've just come out of like playing Assassin's Creed. I was like, I don't know if I can jump straight into a really another long playing game, but yeah, it's brilliant. I've only done about maybe 5 hours in, only just getting used to like the different play styles, like Tim was saying, and also like realizing that they have these like little orbs that you can shoot before you even start. So it's like different, like you said, different styles of playing. And I, like you said, definitely Final Fantasy-ish. I think when we commented on ModCons a while ago, we showed all like the upcoming games that are coming to Microsoft. And it wasn't until I started playing it that I was like, oh shit, this is actually one of the ones we were talking about. And how good it looked.
This one that looks really good.
Yeah, French team. It's phenomenal. I think they gave a big talk about it, and I'm surprised it hasn't had a bigger push. Like, do you know what I mean? People like Tim is loving it, and I think there's a lot of people out there like Final Fantasy style. It's exactly the same. It is like saying it is really good, and I really wish you could play it. I'd say to Molly, I'm interested. I might just even let you have my Xbox logins and play it on your play it on your browser, mate, and just see what you think. It is, it's phenomenal.
It's the best Final Fantasy game since Final Fantasy X, even though it's not technically it's not a Final Fantasy game. Yeah. It's the best game of that ilk since Final Fantasy X.
It's on my list of things to pick up, and to be honest, when I get to talk about what I've been playing, there was a strong part of me at the weekend that Dave, we need to talk about that later as well. And yes, Chris, we will come to that in a minute. Shame on you. Yeah, there's a part of me that wants to just ditch what I'm playing at the minute and just pick up Expedition 33. So I might even do that.
I think you need to, knowing how much you like the same sort of things in RPGs and stuff that I do, and like, you know, Final Fantasy 7 and things like that. You'll definitely like this. Also, it's kind of Souls-like as well, in like the harshness of it. It's very, very tough, but I think the difficulty of it kind of fits the story.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's like, it's that thing of like they're kind of all doomed and screwed, and then everything's really hard. So you kind of don't want to then walk the game easily. You kind of want it to be challenging and difficult.
Yeah,
they do have a lot of swear words as well in the cutscenes.
Yeah, it's a bit of swearing.
The odd swear word drops in there every now and then.
And like some of the enemies as well look quite freaky. So it's one of the ones where occasionally, if my kids have come downstairs, I'm like, no, I'm going to have to pause that and make sure they don't see or in this game, because there might be like swearing or horrible stuff in it.
Excellent.
Yes, I've not really been playing much else. I've just been playing that, so that's what I've been playing.
Okay.
Yes, which will hand over to Blunners.
Blunners, what are you playing?
Yes, obviously I've said I've been playing it as well, so I've given you that part. But also, if you have checked the channel recently, I did drop a video all about the Neo Geo Super Pocket, and I played every single game that is coming to the Neo Geo Super Pocket. And I'm about to say, if you want us like this, if is a must-have Super Pocket, it is that good. There is no shovelware on there. There's no game. There's no crap game that they've just chucked on for the hell of it. I'm telling you, all these games are really good and worth it. So I'll just quickly reel them off for you. Alpha Mission. So there's a lot of shoot 'em ups, and I'm not a great shoot 'em up fan, but Alpha Mission 2, Blazing Star, Final Fury Special, King of Monsters 2, the next thing, Last Resort, Metal Slug X, Mutation Nation, Overtop, Samurai Shadow Showdown 2, Sengoku 3, Shock Troopers 2nd Squad, Soccer Brawl, The Last Blade, and Top Hunter Roddy and Kathy. So never really, I mean, other than Fatal Fury I've heard of, and obviously Metal Slug is the main thing here. But yeah, it was really, really good. And it caught me by surprise how good it was, to the point I was thinking, shit, they need to have this on a cart. It'd be so good on a cart. Like, and it's locked to a tiny little 2.8-inch device. That's what I was saying in my review. So yeah, so if you haven't, go and check my video. I won't talk too much about it, but like I was saying, metals, and don't do what I do, because obviously I've never played these, and I've not really played much of SNK games, where I was trying to make the video a bit shorter, but it is a massive video because there's so many games. I was skipping like the beginning, and apparently I was told that you get shown a lot of the special moves and everything, especially in like King of the Monsters 2, which were basically like Godzilla going around fighting and smashing up everything, smashing up like the cities and stuff. So yeah, I was saying some games that stood out to me. Metal Slug X, obviously, Metal Slug's phenomenal. Mutation Nation was kind of like a side-scrolling beat-em-up game, kind of like your Streets of Rage kind of thing, but you're fighting against like mutants, hence Mutation Nation. King of Monsters 2 was okay, but it wasn't rubbish. But it was, once you get used to like the power up, the way to fight in that, it's quite good. Last Resort caught me off guard. It was a great shooter. It wasn't like ridiculously hard work. You could charge down your gun as well, so you're not just constantly firing all the time. Soccer Brawl actually wasn't too bad. And then the one that caught me off guard was Top Hunter, Roddy and Kathy. I was not expecting anything from this, and it actually wasn't too bad.
Okay.
So yeah, so for me, like I've got a couple of super pockets, and I feel that this one is by far the best one that they are going to put out. So yeah, so that is what I've been playing.
That's a lot.
It's very good.
A lot.
The video is 47 minutes.
Well, I will be getting to that. I promise you. So I have played a couple games more than Tim, significantly less than Blunners. I have been playing Black Myth Wukong still. I'm still in the same zone with it. It's a good game. It's not the game it could be, which is a real shame. It is stunning to look at. The voice acting is actually very good considering it's a translation jobby. It's absolutely bananas, the story, and the combat can be good, but I think the thing that sucks is you can it's Souls-like ish in that you will die a lot. You tend to get to like checkpoints, and then when you die you'll go back to that checkpoint, but it could be that checkpoint is quite away from your objective. You don't lose like any life, or you don't lose any items when you die. You just go back to the last spawn point. So I guess in that sense it's not really roguelike or anything like that. It's just it's like 6.5 out of 10. You know, it's on the cusp of being pretty good, but at the moment it's just good. It has a really steep learning curve, I find, with the boss battles. The boss battles look phenomenal, and once you start to really get the boss, it can be a lot of fun. But it's not like Dark Souls or Demon Souls or anything like that, where you do a dance. You know, you just have to learn how to dance with that particular partner at that time, and you know that's how it's going to be from the outset. Whereas this is, you know, it's a bit Devil May Cry. You just absolutely smash the crap out of your heavy and light attack, and mix in a couple of magic-y bits along the way, until you find the combination that works best for that particular boss. It doesn't encourage you to be tactical, but you need to be tactical. But it never at any point kind of prompts you to be tactical. It prompts you to be heavy and just fight really hard and fast, but you can't do that on boss fight. Yeah, it's good. It's the sort of thing that I think will be on PlayStation Plus very soon. People will get a really good kick out of it. It's just not what I thought it was going to be. It's still just not what I thought it was going to be, which I'm a little bit disappointed about. But it's a good game. The other game that I've been playing a bit of is Bolt Gun. We'll get to talk about PS Plus in a minute, but Bolt Gun, for people that don't know, is a retro-inspired boom shooter that is taking on the mantle of a Space Marine from the Warhammer 40,000 universe, and you just plow through the levels, destroying the crap out of anything and everything that gets in your way, solving the odd little puzzle here and there. It is an absolute delight. So much so that I will be picking up the Switch version purely just so I have a physical copy of it. There's a lot of people talking about Bloodborne and all that kind of stuff. It's nowhere near as difficult as those games whatsoever. And it's nice to see Shems there defending the Dark Soulsness of the games that are out there.
It sounds like Black Myth Wukong might be the tipping point of games that we talked about before, saying you can judge a game by saying, is it better than Black Myth Wukong?
Yes.
And if it's better, it's a pretty decent game. or is it as good as, or is it worse than? So how good is it? Well, it's worse than Black Myth Wukong. It might not be worth playing. If it's better than it, then it's worth playing.
Yeah, it's just a real shame because graphically it's so beautiful, but you do not have free roam. You know, you can get to the edge of like a woodland area, and you could see where you could jump through the trees a little bit, but it's not. You get the invisible wall that just stops you from progressing into that part. But you have so much space to explore. It's just little things like that are really irritating in a modern game. It's like, that's not how this works now, you know? Like, we should be able to explore everything and anything at any given time now. That's sort of the standard that we're at. But there we are. Bolt Gun's been making it all the better. I will play Black Myth all the way through. I doubt it'll be something I'll revisit. I don't know. Maybe all of a sudden it will do this really big uptake a bit later on, and I'll just be like, oh, there we go. It's phenomenal. But yeah, we will see. I think between now and then, I probably am going to pick up Expedition 33 and play the shit out of that, because that sounds right up my street.
Yeah, I think he does, doesn't he, Tim? I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on this game, because it's very good.
Excellent. Some people playing some good stuff in the chat as well. Dave Newland playing Final Fantasy Rebirth still. Good man. Stick with it. Some of it is difficult. That ending, though. Oh, the ending is so good. I hope you keep enjoying it. What did Shem say she was playing as well? She's always playing something decent. Nope. Whatever Shem's playing. I think she was playing Expedition 33 last time. So, excellente. Let's jump into the next item, which I think there's going to be some good. There's going to be some interesting discussions had on these bits of news, and that is, as we are ramping up to the Switch 2 release, there continues to be Switch 2 news. So I'm going to hand over to Blunners initially, because he is the Switch man. He is the one of us who has got one on order and will be able to enlighten us when the time comes. So Blunners, hit us with the first bit of Switch news.
Yeah, so I can't wait. It's annoying because it's not in the half-term week, so we end up going back, and then I've got to try and fly out of work to get back in time. But yeah, definitely can't wait for my Switch 2. But there is some random news that has been coming out. So this is actually on the customer support website. I'll just quickly share my screen, and it is the game cards. So some game cards overview. So this is actually on Nintendo's website. They're saying that there'll be regular game cards and game key cards. Game key cards are different from regular game cards because they don't actually contain the full game data. Instead, the game key card is your key, in brackets, to downloading the full title to your system via the internet. So you're going to get a box that's going to have a game card key that you put in, and then it just downloads it, kind of like your CDs do in your PS5. So like it says, you just got to make sure you've got the space, and then you can just play the game once you're ready. But an internet connection is only required when you launch the game for the first game. After this, the game can be started even without an internet connection. However, like regular physical wear, the game key card must be inserted in order to play this game. So
they're basically like simulating a physical car. It sounds like you're still going to get the experience of having a physical car. You just need to install it when you first get it. But is it not just a code then? That's a bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It sounds like it's not even a code. So it sounds like you're just like, like when you get your PlayStation, your PS5 discs, where you just like put your PS5 in, it downloads the game, and it just uses your actual like disc to prove that you've actually got the physical copy of it. Some of them do that, and I think this is kind of what this is. But it doesn't say what type of games are doing it, though, does it? There's no like. It's just something that's randomly come out. Like so you're going to have this game card, put it in like normal, and it's just that initial download, and then it's basically like having the downloaded game, but it won't actually let you play it unless that cartridge is in. So it's like a hollow shell, which must have some sort of generic game key in it. I don't know. It just sounds a bit weird to me.
It's yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think we sort of said this maybe a little bit before we came on. And that was maybe it's going to be like that for some of the games that are the upgraded versions of ones we've already got. So maybe if you buy Breath of the Wild again, yeah, well, maybe Cyberpunk will have its own one, but maybe yeah, things like Breath of the Wild. I'm sure Mario Odyssey is going to have some kind of update as well. Maybe that will come with the key card, so it will register that you've got the game already. Or if it hasn't, it will just send you the game download, and then you just get the update on top of it as well. Maybe I don't know. It is weird though. It is weird. You know, as sad as it sounds, I do like the fact that you can buy for just the regular Switch the digital only code version of the game, but you still get a box, so you still get to have this collection of games. It's just you just don't have a cart for some of those. So yeah, maybe that's kind of what they're doing with these update versions to games or something, and then some of the first party stuff, so Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, they'll all come on an actual cart with the game on. I'm sure there'll be patches and updates and whatnot, but
what difference does it make, to be honest? If you've got, does it run better because it's actually on your system? It's on the SSD on your system rather than reading it from a game card? Do you know what I mean? Surely that might be better, because once you've got the game card in, it's just like putting a game card in any other time. You wouldn't know any different, would you?
Yeah, like I don't know about that, because the difference between things, like if you go back to like the N64 era, and look at certain games on the N64 versus the PlayStation, like the reason you put GoldenEye or Mario 64 into your 64, turn it on, and then it just goes bang, it's on and starts working, is because there is no load time with the cartridge. It just starts. There's nothing for the disc to read, because it's not a disc. It's just running like it always has. And I know the Switch still has like a little boot up menu, and you put the game in and it does its little intro. But I still think the Switch is a lot quicker to load games than it is the PlayStation 5 or anything like that, because again, it's a physical cartridge going into a system that's not got to spin and read something. It's just reading data straight off of the card. So I'd like to think that with the Switch 2 being a little bit more advanced inside, that it will be able to, you know, still play things as if, you know, with that sort of instantaneous feeling that they've always had. I don't know, but it may very well run better if it's installed directly onto the system.
So yeah, so other news as well. They've obviously updated the original Switch, like Shems is going on about here, and they've changed like the icons, and there's a system coming in about when you game share, so you can lend a game. So you can lend your digital game to someone, but it has to be like in the vicinity of you. So it's not like you can log in from different accounts. One of your accounts has to be like the main Switch of the house, which you then, and then it basically sends off. And I think it's 14 days, and it instantly comes back to your Switch. So then you would have to meet up in person again. So say like I lent you my downloaded copy of Breath of the Wild. We would then have to meet up again in 14 days if you hadn't completed it. I could then, like, rather than me just physically buying it and then going, there you go. Do you know what I mean? It's they're trying to come, but then obviously I can't play it if I've lent it to you. So it's not like you could, like before. I think people who have multiple Switches can just log in from whatever Switch they're on, download whatever and play it. But now they can't. One of your Switches has to be the designated like main device, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was another thing that's just come out. Also, this one's funny. Diddy Kong has had a new design apparently. Questions on a postcard leave your answers on a postcard to if you can see any difference in this. I'm just going to share the screen. So yeah, does that come up?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, hat's a bit bigger apparently.
I mean, it
belly.
It looks like Diddy Kong.
Yeah.
You know,
this is like when you get like a marketing team that's paid to relaunch a brand, and they redo the logo, and you can barely tell the difference. They probably get paid loads of money to redesign a logo that looks exactly the same.
Yeah,
but this one's sleeker.
It's like they look great. You know, they look like Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. I wouldn't call them redesigns, but it's still good. Like, but yeah, to sort of say that it's some kind of redesign is a bit much.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call that a redesign. The other thing I was going to mention was I don't really know what this means, if I'm being brutally honest, but the variable refresh rate support is apparently only going to be available when it's in handheld mode and not when it's in docked mode. I don't know if that's upset some people. Apparently, they had to verify that and said on their website retracted when they said it would be available. They said, it's only available in handheld mode. But that is the variable refresh rate. So I presume it's an image quality thing, smoother visuals, I guess. So.
Does somebody in the chat who has significantly more understanding of this explain why the variable refresh rate? Why people are funny about it?
Why should
I think it's because they've had to apologise because I think they originally put out that it was on the system and kind of thing, and now it's not. It's only on handheld, not in docked. Yeah. Obviously, but in a docked you'll be playing in 4K because it upgrades it to 4K. So maybe it can't do that. The dock
might not even matter.
Can't do that. Yeah, you might even notice because you're playing in 4K.
And then the only other bit of news we had was that they said about the license thing, isn't it? Saying you actually aren't buying your Switch 2, you're buying the license.
So this is what I left. Leave till last year. So
it's have we got more Switch news before we hit this topic? Because there's
real
there's
quick
a lot to unpack.
Okay, real quick. Nintendo confirmed they'll be attending Gamescom. Switch 2's HD Rumble seems capable of some impressive sound output, apparently. And there's a video going around with a closer look of the Nintendo GameCube controller, but I'll be doing that when I get mine because I have got one pre-ordered.
Beautiful. So yes, the idea is coming out that people have looked into the finer print of buying a Switch 2. We'll need to completely verify it. I'm sure someone will be able to verify this. But Nintendo were sort of talking around the idea that if people started using their Switch 2s to do things, I'm assuming like mod them, and they'd be able to run various things off of them. That if they found people doing that, then they would be able to brick people's consoles, which got people sort of talking a little bit as to, but I've paid for it, like it's mine, I can do what I want with it. And in the fine print somewhere, when you buy your Switch 2, you are buying the license to use the Switch 2 and the products in a certain way. You're not buying the console yourself. So technically, the Switch 2 isn't yours. And because it's not yours, if you are found to be
tampering with it,
upgrading it or doing something to it that isn't just playing Switch games, then they could brick your console from working at all, which it can't be like that. It just can't be like that. I think
it is.
Sounds insane, doesn't it?
It is just the most insane thing I've ever heard.
I think it's the most Nintendo thing Nintendo have done. That is like, they don't like anyone getting their stuff, hold of their stuff for free. There's like, no, you have to. I think they're the only company I know that really gives a toss about people downloading ROMs that are like 60-year-old games or something. They've got really old games. Like this game came out 30 years ago. If you want to buy a ROM, just get a ROM. And Nintendo like, nope, because they still want people to get it through them.
I think obviously why they're doing it is because obviously the Switch has been out a long, long time. And now you can get things that are like this, called the MIG Switch. So you can get things that are like this, that you can put pirated ROMs on and then this will play in your Switch. You press this button, and what happens? It then just instantly keeps loading new more games onto your Switch. And this is what they're trying to combat. They're trying to combat this kind of piracy.
Yeah.
So you can understand.
I do appreciate it. Yeah, I do get why they do that.
But if you look at the Switch 2's interface to the Switch 1's, to me, there doesn't seem to be too much different under the hood. And if you've already got things like this out, it's only a matter of time until some sort of bypass or something. It will come out. And
but I suppose though people might be able to figure it out. There might be a bypass, but will it be a deterrent for people to say, "Look, I'm not going to take the risk of doing that because if it does get detected, they'll brick it, and I've spent £400, and I just don't want to take the risk on it." So I think it is a good deterrent.
Not connected to the internet, then yeah. No game chat for you.
Yeah, but like just that would I'm gonna have to look this up and actually see just what is actually happening, because it's something that I think is just absolutely bananas. If that turns out to be true, and that everybody who buys a Switch 2 never actually owns their Switch 2 because you've effectively just bought the license to use it, then that's insane.
I think that's only if it's online. Like, only if it's connected to the interweb of the internet. Do you know what I mean? If you never connect it, you do it the hell you want.
It's just bananas. I mean, it could be absolute toss, and it could just be, there's something around licensing and whatnot, but it's not that you don't own your console. I hope it's not that anyway, because that would just be insane.
That's insane.
Absolutely insane. It might be something actually that I look up while we're sort of chatting as well, and we'll have a live update with what we can find about this Switch 2 licensing issue, because you're right, Tim. It is a very Nintendo thing to do, but they've never done it before, and I think it would question later down the line. I think it would question whether or not people would buy one, because if you're not owning it, why would you effectively rent one long term if it's not yours? I don't know.
I think that's semantics there, really, isn't it? Because you have bought it, you take it home to your house, you play on it. Is the experience you're going to have owning one any different because you don't own it? If that makes sense.
It's like a hire purchase car, isn't it? Just one that you'll keep for a lot longer, and because I guarantee if something stops working on it, like you're gonna have to pay to get that fixed, aren't you?
Yeah.
But like I say, if we figure out what it actually says, that would be a good start, because ultimately, if it does say that, then ultimately it should be free repairs for life on anything that breaks. If the screen dies, or charging stops working, or the dock stops spinning, then well, I don't actually own this. I've just got the license to use it, so therefore fix my console. Don't know.
Yeah. Interesting.
Definitely more to come on this, I think.
Yeah.
There is a lot more to come. Right. Couple of bits. Ooh.
Mine was digital code. Yeah, mine's the digital code that comes with it. I was really annoyed. I need to get it physical because obviously I've got every other one physical. So we'll get it physical someday.
Why don't we talk a bit about Nottingham Video Games Expo, NOTS VGE, that is coming up thick and fast. Do we have the ability to roll VT?
Yeah. I just need to, I just got to quickly go onto uncensored logins. Then go, there's the QR code there. And then go here. Nottingham Video Games Expo is back on Saturday 26th and Sunday the 27th of July 2025. Get your tickets now. We are going to be joined by Adam Sawkins from Dirt and Burnout fame. Also, you've got the East Midland Ghostbusters, part of the charity group. We've got the Croc man himself, Matt Porter. Also, Stu Cambridge from Sensible Software fame. And if you've got worms, Andy Davison's in the house, and also Andy Warrener from Revolution Software will be there. So get your tickets now. If you scan that QR code and use code TVG, you will get 20% off. We will see you there.
Kabam! So there we go. There are guests still to be announced for Knots VGE. There will be some coming constantly, I am sure. I'm pretty sure I saw today that Gebs24 will be there for one of the days. That'd be cool if we get to meet up and hang out with Jem again. She's such a great laugh. Always got some good stuff to say. So yeah, there's a lot going on. If you scan that code, where's my hand? That one, that code there. Scan it with your phone. Do it now. It will take you straight to the ticket site. You can use code TVG, as the fantastic VT from Blunners there says, and you will get 20%.
20% is quite a lot, isn't it?
It's a whopping amount. Absolutely whopping amount. It obviously goes to support Alex and his team, Amy, and all the guys that are putting on Knots VGE. With the lack of game shows coming around at the minute, this is your opportunity to get to meet other gamers, get to meet people within the community, get to meet possibly some of your, gaming heroes. Come and support this event. It's going to be an absolute riot. We had great fun at Bristol VGE, so this one is going to be even bigger. This is a new venue for them as well. It's a lot bigger than the last one, which can only mean more stuff to look at and spend your hard-earned money on in the summer. Come hang out with us. It's going to be great fun. We're going to be hosting the stages. We're going to be hosting some competitions. We're going to be hosting a Street Fighter tournament. We're going to be holding a Donut Dodo competition. It's going to be a really, really good time. So yeah, go get your ticket if you haven't. And go show some love to the Knots VGE guys. And we will see you there.
Yes, definitely.
Righty. Humble Bundle is selling 161 Xbox Game Studio titles for £7.80 British pence.
Sorry, it's 100. They reckon it's £161 worth. I missed the pound sign off it for £7.
Oh, £161 worth of games for your hard-earned
it's not.
British £7.80. So hit us with the some of the games that are on this.
So there's 4 days left.
Quantum
Break. Wasteland, Quantum Break, As Dusk Falls, Ori Will of the Wisps, Age of Empires, Definite Edition, Broken Age, Sunset Overdrive, and Battletoads. So the lowest you can pay is £7.90. If you go to £3, it only gives you 3 games.
Yep.
But yeah, for £7.80, you can get £161.10 value, apparently.
I have to say, Quantum Break is really good. It didn't do as well as I think they'd hoped it would. I think they were hoping it would start a franchise, and it for some reason just didn't. And I think it is because the Xbox One just didn't sell great at the start. But Quantum Break is really good fun. It's a time travel game. The machine that they use to bend time and go back in time and stuff is, genuinely cool. Like, I had a great time with Quantum Break. Imagine like a really good science fiction TV show that you enjoy. It's only got 10 episodes, but you get to the end and you're like, that was really good. That's what Quantum Break is. So
yeah, I quite enjoyed it as well. And it looked like all Steam codes as well by the looks of it. Saying positive on Steam. But yeah, has anyone played Sunset Overdrive?
Yes.
Ori?
Yep, I've played both. Sunset Overdrive is really good fun. It just needed to be, considering how wacky and zany it is, it could have done with just going that little bit harder and that little bit further. But it is a really good fun game for sure. And Ori Will of the Wisps is just beautiful. absolutely beautiful. So, yeah, definitely. Is it UK owned? I think you'll be all right, Shems. I think you will be all right. And then the Battletoads redo, like the graphics on that, I think are pretty good. Broken Age. I don't know anything about Broken Age.
Man, do I have you, Tim?
No, can't say that I've heard of that one, but still, they all look like it's a good
Puzzle
deal at that cost.
It says here.
Yeah.
Had a good puzzle field adventure game.
I do like me some puzzle games.
We've got an all-star cast with Elijah Wood, Jack Black. Oh.
I mean, Jack Black's in everything now, isn't he? Okay. Yeah. I could be sorely tempted for £7.80 or 91 pence, whatever it turned out to be. Even if just to play Quantum Break again. Excellent. So if you have a Steam Deck, or even if you just have a PC and you just want some good games for a jolly decent price, I think that will certainly do you some good. Let's have a look where we at. Let's go to PlayStation Plus. What will also come to is I'm gonna throw in a curveball at the end, and that was the announcement of a movie title, which we'll get to. Yes. So, PlayStation Plus games. Does somebody have PlayStation Plus open?
I do actually on the app at the moment. I don't have it on the website though, so I can tell you what things are. This month we have got Ark Survival Extended. We have Baltro and Bolt Gun, which we've already mentioned earlier in the show. So yeah, good ones this month. I've not played Baltro yet, but I see it mentioned a lot. It seems to have been trending a bit, and lots of people talking about it. So I feel like I need to check it out. And as you mentioned, Bolt Gun is great fun. Really enjoyed playing that. I played it a while ago because it's on Game Pass. A few months back, I think it came onto Game Pass. So I played it a little while ago. But yeah, if you've not played that before and you've got PlayStation Plus, definitely grab that because that is a giggle. It is a nice sort of. It has that good feel, doesn't it? It feels like Doom / like Duke Nukem, kind of old school first person shooter. And graphically, it's very nice.
Nice. I like that.
Nice.
Very nice.
It reminds me of actually a bit of a tangent, but I have been playing a little bit recently of the remastered Hexen. I never played that. I never played that on the PS1, and it was actually, funnily enough, a Humble Bundle. It had a Humble Bundle shooter pack, and I thought, do you know what? I've never played Hexen, and I like the look of it, so I started playing that, and that's actually really good. I enjoy that as well. So, similar sort of style game to Bolt Gun, but Egyptian themed.
Who doesn't like a little bit of walk like an Egyptian?
And then, have you guys played any of the other one, Ark Survival Ascended? Can't say I've ever played it.
No. My son has played quite a lot of Ark. You can certainly build games in it as well. You can build the world and all that good stuff. So he built all kinds of stuff in that. He had a really good time in it. So yeah, I hear Ark is a very good, very popular game. So that should be pretty good. Yeah, just buy Expedition 33. I know that seems to be the general consensus from today. But Bolt Gun is fantastic. Really good fun. Yeah, Jack Black popped up on an episode of the X-Files. Jack Black pops up in everything. Like, you forget that Jack Black is in so many strange movies.
Yeah,
was he on the episode of the Lightning Kid? The guy that can control lightning. Is he a friend of his? Am I getting that right?
Maybe.
Or is he in
Maybe.
I might have to look up when he was in the X-Files. But he was in Mars Attacks as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Yeah, very, very bizarre. It's another one that always catches me out is when I get round to watching Donnie Darko again, because that's one of my favorite movies of all time. And it always shocks me when I remember that Seth Rogen is one of the bullies.
Yes, yeah. Jack Black guest star on X-Files season 3, episode DPO. The episode aired 1995. Yeah, I think it's the one with the episode of the Lightning Kid. That's what I called it. I always call it Lightning Kid episode. He was also in the advert for Pitfall. Well, have you seen that? The original advert for Pitfall has Jack Black.
No
Does
way.
it?
Is that?
Yeah. Bring it up now. Let's bring it up now and put it
No way.
Yeah, it's
going on a Jack Black tangent here.
There you go. Let me just bring up the thingy. So, Pitfall ad.
No way.
Yeah.
So what randoms is he
That's
in?
right. Hang on. It's an old advert. I can't put sound on with this browser for some reason, which is why we always have this problem with Timmy's tanks. But yeah, let me just share my screen. Allow. Right. Let me know you got that. Yeah, this is Jack Black advertising Pitfall on the Atari. There you go, young Jack Black.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's probably one of his first gigs.
That's not Jack Black.
Young, isn't he?
That's not.
I mean, it could be.
It's I don't know if he comes back into it if he's just the kid at the beginning. But yeah,
even if he is just the kid at the beginning,
I think he's just the kid at the beginning. Yeah,
that's
madness. Madness.
Yeah, he was just the first kid. Where is he? There you go.
Jack Black.
Jack Black advertising Pitfall on the Atari.
Wow.
Okay.
Well,
I mean,
every day's a school day.
It really, really is. There we go. So before we dive on to the last couple of things, which is mainly telling you about a couple of things we got coming up, I am going to talk about a movie title for a movie that is hopefully still coming out next year. Very excited because I like the first one very much, and that is the rumor that the new Super Mario Brothers movie title has been revealed, and it is nothing's come out officially yet, I don't think, but the working title that is coming up is Super Mario World, and I thought that is a fantastic title. I genuinely hope that that is the title, and this is what's been doing the rounds on a lot of social media. Where are we at? Here we go.
A quest for Everpants.
Yeah, it'll come. This has been doing the rounds. This glorious little teaser poster. This could be absolute fake. Easy could be fake, but I really hope that that is the teaser poster. It's great. Such a cool idea. Especially having the world written in the Yoshi egg colors as well. So who knows? Who knows? All we know is that Super Mario, the sequel, will be coming next year at some point. It's clearly going to star Jack Black. It's clearly going to star Chris Pratt.
You don't own the cinema ticket if you can see it. You just get the license.
Yeah, exactly. You get the license to see it.
The cinema ticket. If you watch another film, Nintendo can brick your eyes.
Can brick your eyes. Yeah. Can brick your eyes from playing it. From watching it.
Really enjoyed the first one. It was everything that I thought it should be. It was big, silly, fun. Absolute throwback to
I can remember when we were talking about it before it came out, and I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about the voices, and they had the original voice actor not being used, all that sort of stuff. And then they did the advert where they put on the Italian accent, and afterwards, I don't know, with the accents, is that a bit much? And then the guy goes, it was great, yahoo! And then they just carried on talking normal voices. No, that's fine. You did a little nod, and then because actually you're right, having that sort of Italian accent, over the top Mario voice for the whole film would have just got a bit annoying after a while. So it worked. They knew what they were doing.
Exactly. It was good fun, and it played into all the characters really nicely. I think the voice cast was great. So yeah, fingers crossed we get more of the same, just bigger, more silly.
Building towards a big Super Smash Brothers kind of big crossover movie.
Trying to think,
is what I'd like to see.
Trying to think where else could they go? Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to think, because
no one was really expecting
Donkey Kong, were they? Yeah, but no one was expecting Donkey Kong in there.
No.
So,
I would love them to do in a separate movie. I would love to see Illuminations tackle Star Fox. I think that would just be amazing. I think it would be so good.
Might be nice to see a Kirby cameo. I don't think you could have a Kirby film because doesn't he not really talk?
You'd have to have
a voice, yeah.
No, he just eats everything.
And
inhales everything.
You'd have to have somebody like Jason Momoa voice Kirby or something, someone with a really unfitting voice. You know, that would work.
Aren't they doing a live action Zelda? Or I just hear
That's been rumored for ages. I know IGN did a fake trailer for it once, and people lost their mind. Nothing ever came of it. So
I think I heard them doing like an Amazon series based on Zelda, but again, I don't think anything ever came of it. I think it was just rumors circulating. I don't think there's any actual weight to that one.
All right, quick question then. Other than Ollie's already said Star Fox, but what other game Nintendo series would you let Illumination jump on?
Let's have a look.
I know, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. I got mine. It's not Nintendo anymore though, because they sold the rights. But Conker's Bad Fur Day. Where he's just waking up hungover and he doesn't know what's happened. 18 plus. Hazel finds Mr. Pooh where it is.
I don't know what other license I would like to tackle. Mega Man,
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Mega Man.
All
of those. I reckon anything that builds then towards just a Super Smash Brothers like crossover film. Yeah, I think.
Yep. I don't know how you do it, but I think an Animal Crossing movie would be cute. Or I'll tell you what would work even better would be a 10-part Animal Crossing TV series. The episodes are 25 minutes long. I think that could be cute.
Be good.
But I don't know what you do. You just build a house.
Yeah. Build a house and then get the Mazecon play some music. Meow, meow. What they do.
Go fishing. Pay each other in leaves.
Yeah, dig up some coins.
Oh,
and some bones.
I'll tell you what could be cool, albeit they might have to change the art style ever so slightly to make it work. It would be Turok. A Turok animated movie could be pretty good because I think it would cost too much to do it live action. So a good Turok movie would be fun. Captain N and the Games Master. Oh,
that's my birthday. That is. Zelda's out on my birthday. Is that March 26th, 2027? What? I do not know that.
Captain N, the Games Master. That was a show. Oh my word, did I love that growing up?
Yeah, never say never because Minecraft worked in it, and then that's like one of the biggest selling films ever.
Yeah, and it's bizarre. I know that people love to hate on Minecraft and say it's a terrible film. It's like no, but it's a Minecraft movie. Like it's enjoyable. There's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly acceptable. Like just shut up. Let people enjoy things. So that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
House of the Dead.
That was a terrible, terrible film. Okay. We've got what have we got left? A couple of things to advertise. First thing we're going to advertise is this week you are getting a bonus stream. We need some sort of video that plays when we do bonus stream. Like some air horns and some really gaudy flares or something. So tomorrow bonus stream. This is this will do.
Doherty, and he is doing a documentary called Heart of Neon about the sort of evolution of games from a particular game designer whose name escapes me. It is Jeff Minter and his life in video games. So that is currently, I think, on Kickstarter, and they have smashed the target on that, and they're bringing out this documentary. So he's asked to come on and talk to us about that. So we're on a slightly different time tomorrow night. We're going to be on at 9. So it's 9 p.m. tomorrow for our evening with Peter Doherty, Heart of Neon stream.
So yes, make sure you aren't too late for that one because yes, it is that fraction later.
Okay.
There we go. So yes, the Heart of Neon stream tomorrow. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be great to talk to somebody about their process. How did they start? How did they get this moving? Yeah, it's been a little while since we've had a full interview with somebody. So this is going to be a lot of fun. This is what got us started on YouTube and doing the podcast, was interviewing people. So yeah, come on over. It's going to be a good, fun time. And the other thing that we're going to be advertising, which is due to start also next week.
Next week, yeah.
Yeah, next week.
Is the grand unveiling of the Total Steam Deck podcast. Bonus stream. We have been talking about doing this for a really long time, and I'm very glad that we're now able to do it, because I am a convert to Steam Deck. I bought one earlier in the year. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. There's so many good things that we need to be talking about, that to give it a small segment on one of our other podcasts, just I don't think we'll do it justice. So this Total Steam Deck podcast starts next week.
Hopefully it's monthly as well. That's what I'm saying. We'll try and do it monthly.
Yeah, it's got not quite top of the shop. I do have the OLED model though, which is delightful.
So is Tim, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the OG day one, mate.
But you've had a couple of extra years with it.
I've had it, day one. I got it.
To love that machine and treat it well.
It's a very good bit of kit.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I play mine really regularly, and I originally bought it predominantly for emulation, I think.
Yeah, same here.
But I'm finding myself creating a Steam library. You know, it's
I think I've mostly got it for emulation and indie, because when we went to WASD, all the different indie devs with their stalls had QR codes to wishlist on Steam. Mm-hmm. And you could play on. That's the first time I actually held the Steam Deck, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually very nice." Mm-hmm. How much are they again? Not long after I picked one up. Yeah.
Yes, I've got a dock. Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah.
So what we will probably find us doing is eventually, maybe next week, because we might have some money in the kitty.
Yeah,
we may
game codes.
Yeah, we may be able to pick up some game codes for people. We'll dish them out live for people. So, yeah, join us next week for the very first episode of the Total Steam Deck podcast. I think we got a couple of questions started.
For Tim.
They're both for me.
Yeah, they're both for Tim.
No questions.
So if anybody does have any questions, feel free to throw them into the chat while we are going. So at Triangle Face, with your PSVR 2, did you try Horizon?
So yes, so I've not played Horizon yet. So far, my only PS2 VR experiences are Resident Evil Village, Beat Saber, and Gran Turismo 7. But I think when I finish some of the stuff I'm playing at the moment, I am probably going to upgrade to PlayStation Premium subscription so I can get access to some more VR games via that, because that'll probably be cheaper than buying a bunch of VR games. So I realised, as I say, I'm doing this really backwards. I have an Xbox Series S, not the latest Series X, and I pay for Game Pass. I've got the PS5, which is the latest PlayStation model, and I only do PlayStation Plus Essential. So I'm like, I should really maybe go out and buy an Xbox Series X or pay for PlayStation Premium. So I'm going to bite the bullet and pay for PlayStation Premium. But when I realised, you know what? If I do that, I can play VR 2 games on it, because I think there's a few titles in that library. So I haven't played Horizon. I don't think Horizon's on that, but I will get my hands on some more PSVR 2 games via that. So that should be fun. Yeah, I have had good things. A lot of people say it is really good. It is a game.
It is. I would love to upgrade to PSVR 2. I just don't have any money at the moment. After
switched out.
Mate, I wish if I could have just paid that off over a few installments, that would have been fantastic. But instead, I went balls deep and got the Steam Deck, and I don't regret my decision. Don't regret my decision.
I can answer this one. Did you used to busk outside the Swan Centre? I am local to the Swan Centre. However, we have found that there's people that look a bit like me. And
there's a lot.
We've got whenever the guys see somebody out in public that looks a bit like me, they take a sneaky picture of them and send it. Goes, is this you? Like, no, that's not me. It's Triangle Face cosplay. So it might be somebody cosplaying as me outside of Eastleigh. It is
there's quite a few.
Yeah, there's quite a few people. There you go. It's just a popular look, Loudest Man in Eastleigh. What can I say?
I love it.
Also, I don't busk. Nobody would want to hear that. I think I'd probably drive people away from McDonald's or wherever it was. They said it was. Resident Evil 4 and Res Village. Yes, absolutely. I'm absolutely loving Village on PSVR 2. I played 4 VR on the Oculus Quest because it's before I got the VR 2. But I'd imagine it's very good on PSVR 2 as well. Yes.
Excelente. I look
like he's 20 years younger. Well, there you go. Give it 20 years and you can look as good as me. There you go.
We have got another question here from Mike Holton. Do you think the next generation will be digital only? Oh, gosh. I'm sure you did this last time, Mike. You came in with a big earth-shattering question right at the end. Do you think next generation will be digital only? I'll let you two have a 5 pence on that first.
I'll just quickly answer this one because I'm conscious of time. But I would say I think a lot of the sort of actual developers and the producers of the consoles themselves want it to go that way. So I think it probably keeps costs and stuff down. And I think we are slowly going in that direction. But there's still a demand for physical media. So like I opted for a PS5 with a disc drive. You know, we're still getting these cartridges on a Switch 2, even though it appears they might just be superficial. But there's still people wanting to get physical media. So I really hope it doesn't go that way. But I feel like it's leaning that way and we will see more of it. We'll see a lot more like digital-only versions of stuff. I think that's going to be the norm. You'll get your disc version console or your cartridge version console, whatever you get, and then they'll also release at the same time next to it a digital-only version, and they'll try and push people down that route.
Runners.
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. I don't want them to, but I think they're going to. They tried doing it with the original Xbox, well, not the original Xbox, with the Xbox Series X or X, whatever it was called, with the old Kinect thing that went onto your TV. They tried bringing it in then and had an absolute massive backlog. So everyone kicking off saying about like they weren't happy about this. They didn't want it happening. They just weren't ready. I don't think the infrastructure was in there. Everything's starting to go stream games as well. I feel it won't even be digital. It will be streaming it. Microsoft is turning into a Netflix, which you'll be able to play as you can already. You can just stream that straight from your Amazon Fire Stick, which I can. I can stream it straight from my Steam Deck. So I feel once the infrastructure's there and we're getting 6 or 7G, whatever it will be at that time, it'll be 5G, it'll be 7G, whatever, because it'll be Wi-Fi 7 and all that in a minute. I feel that's how it's going. It's not how I want it to. I want it to be physical, like same physical forever. But when you look at us old fogies that are getting older and going to die out, younger generation couldn't care less if you wipe their ass with some game that literally they get for free and they just constantly do the same crap and kill each other. There's no storylines. There's no nothing to it. My child is a prime example. He'll quite happily play certain games in his room all night and it's just the same crap. Die, go back in, die, go back in, die. And it's like, what is going on here? There's no story. There's no nothing. So, yeah, I think it's going that way because of that's what the generation want, like that's coming up. Not us. I feel we're the last ones. We're the ones hanging on there going, don't do this to us. But, yeah, I hate to say it.
I agree. But what I do think it will do is I think there will be a resurgence of people that will push back against it, and we will end up with more. We'll end up with more things like Evercade, and that kind of thing. We'll have things that someone will make a physical based system, and get indie developers to make games for it. So we could end up with things like, like Hunt Down and all that kind of stuff, just
phenomenal
on a weird little mini console thing, but it comes with a disc, like a mini disc, or it comes with a cartridge slot or something. So I don't think it will ever go away. Yeah, love it.
Prime example of that.
Yeah. So I don't think it's ever going to go away, as in disappear forever. I do agree that I think it's what the big developers want to happen. It's just, will people still go for it? I don't know. It's the short answer. I don't know if people would turn their back on it. I think given how big Game Pass has gotten, I think people probably would eventually. You just get used to it, as you always do. But yeah, I'd hate for it to happen, because
Same
it's I love having a game.
Yeah, and like they're already started to slowly do it, and they take away your instruction manuals. Take away the game in the carts. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what next? You'll be open up and you dust.
But what I do want is, and I think I really want to get an Xbox Series X, and I couldn't have picked a worse time, just as they announced that their prices are going up. But I do really want an Xbox Series X, because I think this is going to be the last solely dedicated Microsoft console that's got physical games on it. I think their next generation, they'll still have a console of sorts, but I don't think it's going to be quite like what they've been doing all these years. So I would really like to get my hands on an Xbox Series X, because I think it is going to be the last hurrah, the big last generation that takes a game disc from Xbox. So yeah, if anybody in the UK hates their Xbox Series X and wants to sell something for a good deal, hit me up. I don't have any money at the minute, but I'm sure we can come to a deal. I'll give you a kidney or something.
Kidney.
And I think that will just about do us. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining along live. It is always a pleasure to have you guys all in the chat, all joining in, throwing in your 10 pence. I love interacting with you guys. I know we do the TVG tripod as it is. We love hanging out with you all. Do get your tickets to Knots VGE. We will be there for the whole weekend, all three of us. We'll be going out on the Saturday night. It's going to be great fun. There's going to be so much stuff to do during the day. We can have a big old meet up.
Going to try and live stream our lives as well. I'm going to try and our interview. Sorry. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we have we have an internet connection there, and
yes,
my phone and microphones are all working.
We'll be able to make something. I'm sure we'll be able to do something. So yeah, there's lots of good stuff coming up. Always. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, everyone. Do tune in tomorrow at the slightly later time of 9 p.m. for our evening with. It's going to be a good fun time. And yeah, just thank you again for supporting us the way that you do. We'll be looking to sort out some giveaways and stuff very soon as well. Do hit that little thumbs up button, because that, funny enough, helps us out quite a lot. It pushes it around the algorithm. If you somehow find this from it being pushed into your algorithm and you like what you've heard, please consider hitting that subscribe button, because that also helps us out quite a lot as well. Continue all the conversations in the comments section. We do read the comments. We love interjecting with everybody on there. So yeah, we will see you all tomorrow night for the return of an evening with. So good evening and have a wonderful rest of your evening.